Hello Year 10, Mr. Hughes here, yet again. Unfortunately you find me today a bit down in the dumps. My wife's just given me my second Corona haircut. She's bought some clippers. She's been a bit overconfident with it. Second time she's taken her eye off the ball and I've got a little bit of an embarrassing haircut. What makes it worse is that I'm doing school tomorrow to do educare. So I'm a little bit apprehensive about that. And I look out, rain. We haven't had rain for days and days, but it's been raining all day today. So I'm a bit down in the dumps. I'm not even sure part 2 of consumer law will even cheer me up. But let's give it a go. So last week we did consumer law part 1, which was all about Consumer Protection Act. Can you remember the three issues surrounding the Consumer Protection Act in terms of what you would do if you had a product which wasn't fit for purpose, of a good quality, and as described? What were the three? Come on, what were they? Have a little think. Have you got it? Yes, I think you may have. So, you have a full cash refund. They have a right to replace, and if they still can't repair it, then they have to give you a full cash refund after the 60 days. So that's the terms there. Let's move on to part 2, but just before we do, a little bit of retrieval. Now I promise you it won't take more than 40 seconds, right? I just want you to pause the video, have a look at those 5 and see if you can retrieve the meanings from those little grey cells of yours. Or search back into those thought cathedrals. 5 meanings. Pause it and then I'll give you the answers. Don't cheat now. Don't just let it play and let me give you the answers. Come on, you're better than that. Yeah, and you. Pause it. Thank you. Right, the answers then. So, market segmentation. That is when you divide the market up into subgroups: age, gender, lifestyle, socio-economic grouping, geography, location. That is how you segment the market, and it allows you to tailor your product to those specific needs of that segment. Focus group. That is where you get a small group where you do market research to find out the needs and wants of your target audience, and you can ask them open questions to get a real in-depth opinion of your product or your service. Marketing mix, also known as the 4 Ps: product, price, place and promotion. It's a strategy to implement a product. Product life stage is a planning tool which outlines the stages of a product's life. And the planning action for maturity: when you're at maturity, you should be looking for a new extension strategy to prolong the life of your product. Any of those causing you issues, get on bite size and do a little bit of revision. Okay, wouldn't hurt. Be strong on that. Right, let's get down to consumer law part 2 then. And what we're looking at here is the impact of consumer law. And we're going to look at those 3 things today, and we're going to do that in a fast and efficient way, and hopefully I won't keep you too long. First one is, that's the Consumer Rights Act 2015, Consumer Protection Act, also known as, and that's what it does there. And it's been devised so that it takes into account your digital services. So, right, reputation then. First one, lesson object one. So reputation, as you know, is really important. You might have watched Watchdog and Rogue Traders, where they catch somebody who's building an extension and it leaks and it falls down and they're dodgy and they're cowboy builders. What happens when they are exposed? Well, their reputation is damaged, and from that you then get low market share, you don't get any repeat business, you lose your competitive edge, loss of profits, and essentially your marketing you have to spend a lot more on marketing to reassure your customers. So your costs also increase. So the loss of reputation loses the loyalty of your customers, short term and long term. So reputation is massive. So if you're breaking the law and if you're not known as a reliable trader or you provide products which are reliable and they're not fit for purpose, then your reputation is going to be damaged. So reputation is a key aspect of consumer law. You cannot lose that reputation because you have to work double hard to get it back. Then if we look at safety, well, safety in terms of the Consumer Protection Act, it's all about making sure that products have good design, good processes, and they meet legal requirements. If we look at products like fireworks and so on, it's imperative that they are produced in a safe way. So if you don't follow it, then we're going to have repercussions with people's health, and it's got to be satisfactory quality. So safety also goes on to lead into reputation, I suppose. So when we look at these products here, we've got insulin, shin pads, a rucksack, a parachute. Well, you can see what they are. Just have a little think. Which ones do you think safety would be more important? Okay, have a little think. Now, this is an opinion. For me, the rucksack is probably low down because it's not a direct, immediate threat. But if we look at some of the others as insulin, as the parachute and so on, and the welding goggles, they are of an immediate threat, and we've got the health care of a little baby down there as well. In terms of the phone, there have been some stories about phones combusting, but we'd be looking at privacy maybe, and settings, and probably more to do with social networking. But it's just an opinion on those, and we're just getting you to think about why safety is important when it comes to the impact of laws. So if we know that these things are safe, then they reassure and they lead into reputation. If we look at some of these stories here, try and think about the impact of Toyota having to recall 1.4 million cars. They've had a lot of issues recently with their brakes, and they've had to recall them. So what's the impact? Start thinking about that. Honda, another issue with brakes. Another story to do with the aviation industry is Boeing, whereby I think it was the new Boeing engine, and the new Boeing planes were going into override, and they were actually causing the plane to crash when you put them onto automatic landing, which has stopped people buying them. So what is the aspects of failing to meet those safety standards? Well, I think you're probably on the right lines here. It's all about the loss of sales in the future, the recalls, the new materials, the new parts for the new brakes, the labour cost that you've got to do, the administration of letting people know that there's a problem. This mounts up into millions, and what people try to do is they cut corners with safety to save money, but in the long time it costs them. It increases their costs and reduces their revenue because of those reputation. Don't cut corners. Moving on in your business careers, let's do it right the first time. Make your first cost your last cost. A little bit of advice there for you. We did say we'd go on to satisfactory quality, and in this one, I just wanted to talk about how the appearance and the finish of the product is important. That first look with the eye, when people look at it, people know, customers and consumers know that they bought a quality product. Durability, now this is to do with how this product holds up against everyday wear and tear, and how long does it last. You can probably think of products where you know that they will last a long time, maybe a brand of trainers or a certain brand of clothing. Fitness for use, in terms of quality, sometimes you have features which make that product more useful than other products, and then free from defects. So satisfactory quality is all about creating a condition where the customer is comfortable with the quality of the product, and this leads on from a business following the Consumer Protection Act 2015. So what we've covered today then is the three aspects of the three impacts from respecting and following the Consumer Protection Act and the outcomes from that. Hope you found that useful. The homework last week was done very well with the scenarios. We're going to carry on with that this week. I'm going to give you another 6 scenarios. Keep up with the retrieval stuff. Have a good week and stay safe. Oh, and by the way, I'll probably, if you see me looking a bit strange tomorrow in Educare, you'll know why. I've been scalped by my wife. Good luck. Have a good week.